Low energy, unfocused, foggy? You might be dehydrated. Whether it's hot yoga, over 100-degree weather, or too much sun. Gatorlight, with a specialized blend of 5 electrolytes, was scientifically designed to help move fluids into the body faster for rapid rehydration. Shop now at retailers nationwide. Gatorlight hydrates faster than water. Is it in you? Symptoms noted are signs of mild to moderate dehydration. Consult a healthcare professional if symptoms persist.
This episode is brought to you by PayPal. You had plans for the last days of summer. And back-to-school shopping has its own plans. School supplies, dorm essentials, your list doesn't stop. Neither does the spending. But when you pay in 4 with PayPal, you can pay over time. No interest, no fees. Check out with PayPal and get back to summer. Subject to approval. Learn more at paypal.com/payin4. PayPal Inc. NMLS 910457.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire, the no-show. Who set you back because they didn't show up on day 1, or day 2, or ever again. And now your product launch is delayed because you're talking to alien abduction podcasters to track them down. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can help make sure your next hire sticks. In fact, businesses who use LinkedIn are 24% less likely to reopen a role in the next 12 months. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
From the Fifth Quarter Studio in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to the Coaching Youth Hoops Podcast.
They're playing basketball.
Here's our hosts, Steve Collins, and Bill Flitter.
All right, welcome to Coaching Youth Hoops.
Coach,
how are you today?
We've been talking for 2 hours, and we finally got to a podcast.
I'm on my second cup of coffee.
Your Disney cup?
My Disney Polynesian.
Me as well.
Yeah, mine's better.
Basketball. Come on. I bought this in Wisconsin, 50 cents.
I know.
When I was at a thrift store.
Oh, you did? You got that on Main Street of Watoma. I forgot about that. That's funny.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a Coaching Youth Hoops retreat for elite members at some point in Watoma. Wouldn't that be something?
That would be great. You got a nice place for it.
We could do a retreat. I don't know. Anyway.
Retreat, we got the lake. You got place to stay. We could have just one program come in for a weekend, and we could fish and talk hoops and eat steak at that.
Steak. If you're interested in that,
raise your hand. Let us know.
Raise your hand. Let us know. That'd be interesting.
Do a deep dive into
deep dive. We have lots of stuff to deep dive. All right. Before we get started, Coach, what are we going to talk about?
Coaches, go check out Coaching Youth Hoops. It's interesting. We get questions of how do you guys make money to support what you do? And I'm like, well, go to coachingyouthhoops.com and go check it out. Full season of practice plans, all done for you, plus many more products to check out. coachingyouthhoops.com.
Awesome. Yes, that's what allows Coach and me to go to Starbucks. Oh, I can't go to Starbucks. Oops. I yelled at my brother the other day because he was at the Tribune last weekend, and he goes, I had to go down to Starbucks. I go, you went to Starbucks? How can you go to Starbucks? You got a blue bottle downstairs or whatever it is. Yeah. He goes, well, Becky likes Starbucks. I go, okay, well, that makes sense. Yes.
Becky likes sugar. It's what Becky likes.
Sugar. Yes, ain't that the truth?
No offense, Becky. We love Becky.
We do, and I love sugar too. She knows that. Yeah. Anyway, I go to plenty of Starbucks.
Not that we're pushing one brand over the other.
No,
but when you have a choice,
I like Starbucks. If Starbucks wants to sponsor this podcast, I'd be more than willing.
I know you would.
Anyway, all right. So what's today's topic, Coach?
We're going to talk about how to manage your players when they make repeated mistakes in a game. So what do you do when you give instruction, the mistake happens again and again, right? And I think we should start this off by talking about, mistakes. They're going to happen. As I tell everybody, I saw yesterday had a game and, girl missed a shot. She put her head down, and at a timeout when she came out of the game at some point, I just said, you know what? You're going to do that 1,000 more times if you stick with the game. And she looks at me, what? I said, I thought you're going to miss 1,000 more shots. And you can't have that reaction 1,000 times, right? She laughed. She goes, you're right, coach. Okay. So how do you handle situations when players make repeated mistakes? And I tried something that I did in high school with my grade school team, and it seemed to work really, really well. And what I used to do is, again, mistakes are inevitable. That's why we do the red dot, put the red dot in our hand, right? It's a mechanism. If you haven't, you don't know what the red dot is, go back in the other episodes, search for red dot on your favorite podcast episode or podcast platform. We have players push that. Okay, next play, we yell out next play. So that's the first thing we do. Players yell it to one another, next play, you got this. And that's all we need to say. They know what it means. The other thing I started doing, though, was if I see them make a mistake 2 or 3 times in a row, I'll pull them out of the game, correct, and put them right back into the game again. Because I don't want to punish them for making a mistake or make them feel bad. Oh, gosh, every time I make a mistake, he's going to pull me out and keep me out. It's more about, let's pull them out. Let's do a quick teaching moment, and then put them back in the game right away so then they can go apply it. So they don't feel like they're getting pulled because of a mistake. Does that make sense, Coach?
Yeah, I think the problem is you got to identify and diagnose quickly, and try to pinpoint the cause in a game that's moving at lightning speed.
Right.
So I think that's a great idea. We all have ways of timeouts and players and those kind of things with correction, but I think you want to catch them before they do it wrong, hopefully.
That's why you have practice,
which isn't always possible, and catch them doing it right if it's maybe shooting layups or something like that. But you want to balance that feedback. It's either 3-1 or 4-1 positive versus negative is the way it should go. Yeah. The quick reaction is pull, and sometimes you have to Sometimes people sometimes people get the yips. But especially at the younger ages, I think it's really important to kind of let them stumble a little bit and then do your correction when you can. And those subtle little cues like slide or hand up or switch or things like that can help. But it's hard because we coach in such a fast moving game. And sometimes it's really hard to do those fast corrections. But I love that. I mean, you have 2 options. You can ignore it, which you don't want to do, definitely. But then you also don't want to yank and punish. I think it's a great idea to correct and especially when you're practicing. In practices, you want to show them doing it right rather than wrong, giving those subtle cues. As far as that goes.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. I think one of the things that I hear from players is when they talk about prior coaches is the coaches killed their confidence because any moment that they made a mistake, they pulled them and sat them. And then they became so afraid of messing up that they messed up more because they're not playing. They're playing not to make mistakes, which then, psychology says you're going to make mistakes because that's what you're focused on, right?
Right.
Don't miss this layup. Don't miss this layup. What do? You miss the layup, right? As an example, and they play scared.
Yeah.
And that's the last thing you want,
right?
Especially for young people.
Right. And especially at the youth level, there's it's okay. I mean, it's obviously if you're playing you played all season and you're playing in a championship thing and someone gets the yips and has a couple turnovers, you might have to yank them, you might have to do that. But you've already built up the trust of I'm not pulling you out because I don't trust you. And I don't, that comes with time. I think I notice that with me. It's sometimes you got to build up that trust. So when you do have to do a pull, you do have to pull the kid that's running into the street so they don't get hit by the car. You can't let them. I mean, just saying sometimes you have to pull the ripcord. You just don't have time to do that self-correction at the time. But I think most of the time at the youth level, you'd rather have that, you want that growth mindset. How do you learn? You learn by those mistakes. And, the subtle things. It's like, hey man, I think you missed that last jump shot because your feet weren't squared or whatever it is. Those micro corrections I think can help a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Or just, sometimes you don't have to pull them, right? You just maybe at a free throw, you call player over and say, hey, I just, give him a quick tip, or during the game. Like a lot of times, like we struggled yesterday, our girl struggled yesterday on pivots, and she was getting trapped, and she kept on throwing the ball over the outstretched hands above their head, as you can see him if you're watching this on video, right? And she knows better, and she kept on doing it. And I told her, like, I pulled her because she's a high school player too. This was my freshman team that I coach, and I said, you got to use your pivots and create the space and throw around, not above, right? And then the rest of the game, she did it fine. It was great, right? So I pulled her, put her back in, and she did a great job from there on out. So that worked, right? But I think an important point that you also mentioned is you can't overcorrect, because the whole youth game is a game of mistakes, right? And you're going to be constantly correcting, but they also have to self-discover and figure out how to get through those mistakes and those tough times and those tough situations on their own. And that's when the real growth happens, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah. It's that growth mindset and all those kind of things. Anything else, Coach?
No, again, I think coaches, the last thing you want to do is kill their confidence, and you kill their confidence by pulling them because they've made a mistake. They're going to make a mistake, and they're going to make a lot of mistakes. That's why we do youth basketball, so that when they get to the high school level, they'll make less of those mistakes, right?
Right. I think that is, you want just to make less of those kind of mistakes specifically.
Right.
All right. Anything else, Coach?
Yeah, just remember, coaches, you're coaching confidence at the youth level, not just X's and O's.
All right. Till next week.
Till next week.